I'm going to go now to dispatch funding update. I had an opportunity to meet with Mayor last week. I'm going to move this. Get this out of the way. Anyway, the mayor and I met, and I think we've broken up our negotiations into three categories. I call it three categories. First is the funding aspect of it. The other is the composition of the board, and then the interlocal agreement as a whole. So I'll try to break it up, and we can start and talk one-on-one with where our differences are, and work our way through it. I think we'll have a better shot of breaking it down. You'll have a better shot of accomplishing our goals. And to allow me to get my little notepad here. Currently, our rate is $1.71 a month, and that is on the telephone bills, landlines. There's about 7,900 customers with those still remaining, and my estimation might be a few more, a few less. And so what I'm proposing is to repeal that current rate of $1.71 on the telephone lines themselves. The city had proposed, if you'll remember, $3.37 a month, or $40.44 annually. I proposed to the mayor, and he thought it was a good compromise, that we would initiate a $2 per month fee on all electric bills in the county for $24 a year. And then provide for we used 30 cents, Jeff and I worked out on this yesterday, so we provided for a 30-cent increase per year over the next 6 years. And all that would be provided on the electric bills. And I'm going to pass out, and of course you've got one of these. Matthew, I believe you've got one as well. If you'll pass these around, I'd appreciate it. There are 3,301 KU customers, 14,600 Salt River customers, 4,300 Bardstown Electric customers, and 384 inter-county customers. Now, inter-county is over in the New Hope, that general area over in Harristown. And so these numbers are based on my discussions with those folks. Salt River and the city of Bardstown have agreed to apply that fee on the electric bill, whatever fee we come up with to the electric bill. I'm still working with KU and have not started discussions with Inter-County, but I need to get these bigger ones and work our way down, and I'm in the process of doing that. As the chart that was just passed out shows, at the monthly rate of $2 and go up 30 cents, it takes you to and this sounds a little funny too. Jeff and I were talking about it yesterday. On the amount 2023, that seems like it forever. That sounds just like, of course, when you were born in 1957, it is forever. But by getting more people involved and more people, paying the amount, it will become more fair if we repeal the landline fees, and then gradually go up, and the city and county would still contribute, and the interlocal agreement 60-40 on any unmet expenses to the end of the cycle. And I can tell you, there's going to be a lot of upgrades have to be done over the next 7 to 10 years anyway, as progression in the electronic field and technology field, and the money we're normally allocating now for dispatching, a portion of that money should continue to go to that area. Everybody follow me on that so far? Magistrates follow me on that so far?
Yeah, I got a question. Is that interlocal agreement going to go to 2023?
Well, we haven't got to that point yet because, again, we're working on the funding mechanism first. So that's a good question, and I will get that answered. It probably, and it actually should continue to go on, We
Right.
really cannot technically find ourselves beyond our years of service, technically, but
Well, we are a little.
we do every day something, but we can work that out. But that's what my recommendation is, and I told John I would recommend to the court. Now I'm gonna veer away from here at the request of the magistrate in District 4. You don't mind me sharing, Jeff. Jeff's on, and Keith both have been real involved in these discussions over the last little bit. Jeff had proposed leaving the monthly rate at $1.71 instead of $2, and then progressing it out. And when you go to 2023, you are still a little bit in the hole, but you go out a little further. Instead of 2023, you'll go a couple more years beyond that to get to that point. The whole goal and objective is to make this an entity that can be self-sustaining without having to worry about the funding mechanism and city and county squabbling over the next generations ahead, I think. And I'm going to pass out some of the, let me give you guys, I don't think I gave you, yeah, I didn't give them your proposal. But I'm recommending the $2, as bad as I hate to say it. Because that's what I told John I would do. All it does is, it takes you a little longer to get there. I've talked to a lot of constituents out there in regards to this.
And this is gonna totally do away with the landline fee.
Yeah, you eliminate, at one time it was close to 250, 275. It's kind of hard to measure the way the reports come in from the cities. I mean,
How's that landline
don't want to
fee?
pass those around.
How do you do away with it? Oh, AT&T?
No, you send a notice, extra copy. Yeah, you send,
Same way you tell them to
by ordinance. Actually, it would be in our ordinance.
So it was done as an ordinance?
That's done in ordinance, yes. It was done. You repeal the ordinance.
How many years ago was that done?
It was before I was judge. It was about 91 or 92, I believe. It was 50 cents.
Would
We raised it to $1.
would the landline fees do away with their sales as they get cut? Would it, I mean, that's just the night, I don't have a problem paying $1.70 a month for my landline fee, and I still got it. Now, if I turn it off, I don't pay it.
That's why I said 2/3 of the people are not
You
paying
can
on
keep it,
landline.
then you don't have to pay it no more.
Well, I think, yeah, so that's in there. It makes sense.
You're gonna pay it through your
I don't have a cell phone.
Okay, let's have some order here.
I mean, I'm just saying landlines kind of take care of their sales as far as the money. It's extra money. You guys are kind of,
Yeah, but you're double dipping if you put it on the electric bill and
you're putting it on each phone, is what you're doing.
The electric bill has nothing to do with your phones, it's the occupied resident.
yeah,
The
it's
problem is right
a
now,
service.
no one's paying. All the
Well,
landlines are
it's
going
just
away.
my deal. I didn't have a problem paying it all.
Thank you. But I actually believe either one of these two proposals, I believe I like the $2 one better. But, and that's what I told the mayor I would propose. But I'd like to hear some comments from the court if I could.
Well, let me defend my proposal. Well, this started out as a discussion to more fairly distribute the cost of the 911 center throughout the county. So it's somehow more from a repeal and replace to a repeal and increase and increase. And and I understand that you have some discussions with the judge that you're trying to honor, but I would much prefer to see it just replaced. It will generate more revenue with the new method of collection.
$1.71 would generate about $230,000 more. No doubt.
More fairly distributes the cost of the 911.
But Jeff and I have had this discussion one-on-one, so he's not all wrong. But I will say this, the history, as judge, we kicked this can down the road for about 15 years. And I have publicly stated that the 911 center would be a place that a fee, an additional tax or fee, would be, that would probably have been short-sighted and doing the right thing. And I'll take that blame, because I've been here long enough to take that blame.
And there's also been multiple discussions about the fact that this fee was never intended to fully fund.
Exactly.
So, you know, that has changed too,
I understand.
you know, with these proposals, so.
Bernard?
Really, all we're doing increase is 30 cents. So very vital for everyone. Everybody uses it. It's not like certain people do not use it. Everybody in the county will use this service sometime, hopefully. They won't have to, but it's there if you need it.
No, it's not just increasing 30 cents, it's increasing it.
Well, the first year.
Plus, more people will participate.
Well, they should, more people, for the people who will be using it.
But in defense of that argument, Jeff, I would say that everybody was paying that at one time.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that is unfair to do
Yeah.
that. But,
I understand.
you know,
Sam?
To me, the whole thing hinges on the city's participation in this thing. You know, if we can reach a long-term agreement with the city, then I'm good either way.
Are you good? Are you?
I personally like the $2 a month. It's simple, it's easy. It allows for a little bit of a increase the first year. There are a few increases and so forth that we need to put into place, I'm sure, that's always come down the path. It lets us start out with a little bit of a cushion instead of a dead even. So I'm okay either way on it. I prefer the $2 a month, personally.
The $1.71 a month represents a revenue increase.
A revenue increase, but not a rate increase.
Of what, of how much?
What is it?
Hang on, I got it.
A revenue increase about 270,000, 60,000, because everybody's paying that was paying before, would have been paying before,
On the landline.
on the landline. But he's right, and his choice of words are very good. Keith?
Well, I think we all know it's underfunded, and, you know, there's a lot of dispute going on, whether it's gonna be all county, or we hope the city wants to participate in it. and
The
I
city
think
has
they need to.
indicated they want to be a part.
Yeah, and, I'm with the $2, I'm okay with the $2. Most of my constituents I've talked to, you know, they all agreed that we needed 911, and they want 911. I've had a few that, you know, didn't want it, but, the majority that I had my little coffees
You
with.
next, I probably
It's okay.
forgot about you sitting there, you're back to me.
So I'm okay with the $2.
Terry, just your observation, no vote today,
I'm gonna stick with the $1.71 with Jeff.
Okay,
I would like to say that even though we're looking at a bit of an increase, that's not an open checkbook for me, for dispatch, central dispatch.
we still have, in the interlocal agreement, the county and the
We're
city
gonna work
both
out-
have to approve the budget.
I agree.
Yeah, and that's the third, that's the end leg.
That's, to
Committee-
me,
Next
that's
thing
the
that
critical
Don and I
point
want
of
to work
this
on
whole
is the composition of the board, and we're going to try to meet next week on that.
thing.
for working
Like I
through
said,
this.
to me, that's the most important thing. Even though we have a few extra dollars, doesn't mean that we're gonna start spending for this or that right off the bat.
And we
I don't think they do that.
I think they've done a pretty good job overall.
Yeah, Joe wants to say something, I'll get you, Sheriff.
I just want to clarify for the court, 10 years ago when we started Central Dispatch, the landline fee was $1.50. And the interlocal agreement raised it to $1.60. And it would increase thereafter by the cost of living, the CPI, cost of living increase. So over 10 years, we've gone up about 11 cents in revenue generating, and we've decreased the numbers that we're drawing it on. So had we probably looked back 10 years ago, we may have said that that needed to increase in a more fair way to keep up with the cost. So that, just a little history there, how we got to $1.71.
And doesn't make it right or wrong, but when we were $1.50, we were probably, in our region, the lowest rate in our region. That doesn't make it right or wrong, but we were one of the lowest rates. Most communities have at least $3 a month on some utility bill of some sort. And every county at the judges conference was talking about this same scenario, how they're gonna handle it, and even a county like Oldham County and that is very prosperous, is looking at the same avenues. Yes, Sheriff.
First, but Intercounty, that's a company?
That's a little small electric company. Actually, not small, they serve other counties.
Well, they're out of
Danville.
How many customers are you projecting in 2023?
2023, we talked, Ron and I talked about when we put this scenario together, there's absolutely no way, we're gonna go back through and look at the building permits
What
and
you
the
getting?
census forecast.
You're getting fairly close to breaking even in 2023, which I think that just my personal opinion is that if it were a department of the government without a governing board is the best situation here.
Would you state that again a little clearer? Just,
A little louder, Ed.
If it were.
put it in simple country terms.
A department of the county, just like.
There you
the
go.
road
I wanted to hear
department,
that.
the sheriff's department, or it doesn't necessarily would need to have the director run the show, which I'm okay with the transition as long as we can get to that point.
Yeah.
Because I don't look forward to having any more of these arguments and fights, and I don't want any other people that become members of the board to be having the same fight in 2023.
Amen.
Well, take it. We'll take it. You understand what he's saying? He basically wants this to be a county governmental entity, and.
Well, we kind of looked at that anyway, Judge. If the city did pull out, it was definitely going to be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're all, we're right there with you, Ed. We understand what you're saying.
Any other discussion? Okay, let's take this, guys, and digest it and have some discussion to yourself. We will bring it back to the table. I'm hearing positive on moving forward with some type of funding mechanism, just a matter of what the dollar amount will be, and whether it's $1.71 or $2. And then I will meet with Larry. I'll set up a meeting with the mayor, and we'll talk about the composition of the board. I understand what you're saying, Sheriff, as far as a separate entity, but I still think having an agency that's got 28 police officers, like the city does, and firefighters, still having a say-so on the board instead of, and again, the redirection of the board may be a separate issue that we can deal with too. I'll work on that. Thank you.
Judge, one question.
Yes.
Are those meters actual number of total meters? or
On
are they
Salt River,
residential meters?
on Salt River, the 14,600 are actually electric, they call it the
Residential
the
meters.
primary meter.
It's the one that they
That
collect garbage on.
They collect garbage on, or in the city. See, the cities, in the city, Salt River's got quite a few customers in the city limits.
Yeah.
Out there by all the Justice Center and all back, not all of them, quite a bit of back in the back and out that way.
Yeah, the subdivision.
Yeah, there's several.
Mine was-
But now, and again, that's the reason if you'll notice on that report, I put a margin of error of 5% on duplicate meters, because, there's gonna be some duplicate meters, and you'll have to deal with those somewhere along the line. And especially, the KU folks are, I'm gonna make a prediction, the KU's probably gonna balk on doing this service for us, because every county in the state is going to want to do this. If they do it for Nelson County, KU serves a lot of rural Kentucky, and I'm not so sure that they typically, you understand why they probably do not want to do this for us, is that it's perceived that they're raising their electric, everybody's bill's going to go up a little bit. But now Salt River's been very cooperative. They've always been cooperative. City of Bardstown, Merrick has said that he would add it to the electric bill if we come to an agreement on the discussions. And but I think KU being a bigger corporation, they're probably going to have some reservations about it. But it's been a good dialogue so far with my contact at KU.
How will we collect that?
But we're working on that, trying to figure that out now. And
What about the cost of collection too? Is that
I'm
something
predicting
for you?
about a 3%. I think our garbage is about 4%, 5%.
No,
6%, yes.
That-
So,
that-
well, whatever it is, it's gotta come out of that.
They're not that far.
And they deserve that fee for collecting them revenue. You're paying for information more as much as anything.
Well, you're talking about $2 a month, the stamp's 50 cents, so I knocked it down to $1.50 right off the bat, just sending the bill out.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, they're
But
combining it.
you would never do
I know,
this,
I know.
you'd never do this on a monthly basis.
But
You would
still,
do it
it's
yearly.
gonna probably require another person keeping up with it. Who knows what it's gonna require.
Ain't so much the sending out as the collection.
I had a couple of old timers tell me the electric bill was probably the fairest way to send a tax bill.
Well, I had several
I
constituents
agree.
didn't
I'm
like
talking about
the
old timers, and they got gray hair, been around a long time, that I respect too. You know, those old timers just,
I've been telling you this since the beginning. You listen to them.
I still have to explore all avenues. Okay, any other questions? Okay, thanks for listening and understanding what we're trying to do. And any old and new business court? You guys have anything else you want to bring up? Anybody in the audience have anything they need to bring up to the court? Otherwise, entertain a motion to adjourn by Bernard Ice, made, second by Jerry Hahn. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry.